Hi, Dale. Dale's High Rush Shop, Loveland, Colorado. Hey, we're going to talk today a little bit about epoxy primer and auto body filler. I have seen so much back and forth on this in forums and social media. Argument I've seen for epoxy primer is if you don't lay down epoxy primer, it's going to get moisture into the auto body filler. Now, auto body filler definitely absorbs moisture. I'm not going to argue that. But you're going to have a little difficult time getting moisture through a perfectly good piece of metal that has no rust, has no holes in it, into your body filler. So you're going to lay down your body filler on top of perfectly good sheet metal. Then you're going to put your primer on that, do your body work, and then put down your base coat, clear coat, or however, whatever top coat you're using. It's sealed up. There is no way moisture is going to get in there. It isn't going to seep in through the back of your sheet metal and go into it. There's no way. And what you're doing is you're going against most, if not all, auto body filler manufacturers' recommendations. So, I don't get it. So I got an example I'm going to show you of why that doesn't work. But first thing we're going to do is go over technical data sheets. I've got 3M in front of me now. I went through most, if not all, of 3M stuff. They also make Bondo, and I'm sure they make fillers for a lot of other manufacturers as well. But they all read the same. It says to wash the surface with soap and water. Then you're supposed to sand it with 40 to 80 grit. Bare metal, right? Then it goes on to say, if you're going to use galvanized steel, e-coat, a primer, painted surfaces, or aluminum, you're to sand it with 80 grit. But it also says when you're sanding with 80 grit to remove the paint and primer. You want it all gone. You don't want anything there. Now you're going to see a few of these other manufacturers tell you that you can put it over OEM paint, which you can. I have done that in repairs of, just like what I'm going to use an example of here is from a van, a plumber's van. They're not looking for super duper body work. They just want it done, right? And it's probably going to be laying in the wrecking yard with as many miles as they put on those. Be laying in the wrecking yard in less than a decade. So longevity isn't all that important. So I've done that. But let's go on. Let's look at this. So I think this is one Evercoat. As far as I could tell, when I went through Evercoat's all said the same thing with all of their different fillers. So you can see they show your substrate, steel, stainless steel, SMC, which is plastic, fiberglass, galvanized steel, aluminum, sanded OEM paint, see right there, and silicone bronze welds. They basically tell you the same thing, how to, you need a good rough surface for it to stick to. I believe myself, the rougher the better for the body filler to stick to. USC had a hard time finding technical data sheets on them, but I found one here, and they're Duraglass. Basically same thing. All those substrates include concrete, masonry, and wood. And again, they tell you basically the same thing too. Roughen the surface, needs to be bare metal. That's it. There's no primer. Okay. And let's go to U-Pole. U-Pole is easy to get around in their site, and I looked at their, almost everything said the same thing. And it is bare steel, aluminum, galvanized, original paint. There again, with OEM paint. You can put it over other body filler. So, if you got body filler that looks like it's been put on correctly when you sand it down and doesn't have anything underneath it but bare metal, you can put this over the top of it. And you can put a silver fiberglass. So, and that's their lightweight gold filler. But as far as I could tell, U-Pole said the same thing on all of theirs. So, with that, I'm going to show you This is my example out of a 40 Econoline van, plumber's van. Piece of pipe came down, hit the back door, popped this piece out. Now you can see the filler is way thicker than it should be. It's about 5/16, including your bottom coats, but too much. When I did this, I did the body work on it, shrunk that panel down, and just did a skim coat. But the big thing on this is epoxy primer. And you say, well, how do you know that's epoxy primer? Because this repairs had been done about a year before this van was painted, and in the glove box he had the bill on it, and it showed that he used epoxy primer. Now he did a good job. This is getting a little dirty from laying around in my shop, but it was perfectly clean, and it appears to be about 60 grit, sanding scratches in it. So he's trying to give it some bite, but it didn't bite. As you can see, it just fell out. So, that argument might be that if it didn't have that on there, it would have cracked it and it needed the body work anyway. Well, that may be true because of the thickness of it and everything. But there you go. That is that's my take on it. You can decide for yourself how you want to go. I just want to share that with you. I've been doing this 53 years, and I've given up trying to really help anybody in forums or social media because it always ends up being I'm just a stupid boomer that doesn't know what I'm doing. And so I just move on. By the way, I'm a proud boomer. So we'll go with that. With that, I'm going to just wrap this thing up. I really thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit that like button. It just helps me out tremendously with YouTube. And it's the only way I can make a few extra bucks. And, how it is. The time is money thing. And these videos do take time. So I would be greatly appreciated. Have a very blessed day.